plug also, which is the beginning painting class and the typography class are seeking students. So the beginning painting class is a late start class. It's a 12-week class, and it starts March 16th. The typography class is taught by Gil Marquez right here, walking down here, and it is an 8-week class. Both of these classes are hybrid, and they're both seeking students. So, without further ado.
You spelled my name wrong. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by today. My name's Shane. I'm one of the curators in the show in the gallery across. All right, let's get started. All right. I think I actually needed that one. All right, so here's my deal. My name's Cheyne Ellett. I'm from Pomona, California, not too far away. I'm an alumni of Citrus. I picked up 3 degrees while I was here. It was a journey. And my deal is, I came from a single parent family with like no extended family to help us out. My odds were not very good. My mom worked at TSA while I was growing up, and it was pretty rough. We were in and out of like food stamps and like food banks. But that's the way life goes. And I got kicked out when I was 18, but I kind of like built this kind of cool life somehow. It's like this wild multi-dimensional life where like I'm doing public art now. I'm in like gnarly gallery shows with like some of my favorite artists. And I'm not really telling you this for like sympathy or anything, but it's more because like I didn't know a life like this would be possible for someone like me from my background. And I'm sure there's some of you out there that like come from difficult circumstances. And I just want you to know like it's possible. You can like break the system. Yeah, I just want you to know what's possible. All right, now let me read about the show. In the Wind brings together a group of artists who, each in their own way, are navigating the open paths of creative life. There is no single map for what it means to be an artist. Every career is an adventure shaped by chance encounters, shifting winds, and just the courage to follow a vision. The exhibition featured shows work that ranges from illustration, sign painting, zines, to books and graffiti, mixed media, and even all kinds of fun stuff. Some artists challenge the conventions of male-dominated spaces like car culture, while others look to focus on finding the beauty in the chaos of life. But we've all found different ways to keep our craft alive and balanced and just working through our practices. We all have roles across like the entire spectrum in education. We work in studios, community work, kind of just living life, and we found a way to be creative in the process. For the alumni showing in the show at Citrus, it's kind of both a homecoming and then a reminder of where our journeys like first started. It's really cool to just show you that, guys, that like it's possible. There is a career in the arts. You can make it. Okay, and then a quick blurb about me is the work I make lives across many fields at once. I kind of work at this weird space in between fine art and subcultures. The work I make is like very bright on first glance, but there's like a lower subtext of like depth to it. And I can't remember what I wrote, but it's okay. Thank you guys so much for coming, and then let me get rolling and introduce the next speaker. Our next speaker is Jazmyne.
No.
Oh, sorry guys, I brought too many pictures. I might have overdone it.
Okay.
Just click through.
No, we're clicking through.
Okay.
Do you want to?
Oh yeah, I'll just tell you guys about this. So one of my bread and butter is utility boxes. A really common thing I've discovered over time is that cities have just like open calls for utility boxes. No rules. You could submit whatever you want for them. And I think it's because I went to school for illustration. I've kind of figured out how to work the system on these. It's a way to simultaneously like create and uplift a really cool environment, but it's also a free billboard at the end of the day if you think about it. And part of what I do, I kind of think I'm subverting like the system in a sense where I'm able. Let me backstep a bit. The reason I got into these is because I saw like a lot of really bad like utility boxes I didn't like, and it was one of those things where I was just like, I could do better. So I went for it, and now, yeah, I have like a whole little collection of them. But yeah, that's basically that. I do a lot of zines, and this is something that I've been doing probably since like 2012. And it's just one branch. Good? Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's all.
Come on in. There's some seats over here.
Plenty of seats over on this side.
And
Come on in, guys. There's seats. Take a seat. Take a seat.
Yeah, so I think it goes Eduardo.
Want to do Eduardo now?
Jacqueline.
Okay. Okay, next up, let me check my card. We'll wait for everyone to get settled. Thank you guys so much for coming by.
Well, thank you for coming.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Settle down. We'll keep it going. All right. So next up, we have Eduardo Munoz. Eduardo is a first-generation Mexican-American artist, originally from Rialto, right here in the IE over there. He's currently based in LA, where he works out of a printmaking studio. After high school, he worked in construction with his family pouring concrete, which later became one of his primary materials that he uses in his fine art practice. He eventually made his way to Cal State Long Beach, where he got his BFA in printmaking in 2023. His work spans silkscreen, found collage, and cement sculpture. He also has a deep fascination with the power of pattern to communicate meaning beneath the surface. I give you Eduardo. You got it.
What's up, everyone? Thank you for, attending the class and attending the talk. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Shane. Appreciate the opportunity and share work with a bunch of dope artists and even being able to speak about our work, and so it's a really dope opportunity. But yeah, so this is some of my work right here. This is like a 9-panel like silkscreen print, and a lot of it, stems from especially with the border, tapping into Mesoamerican hieroglyphs and a bunch of different ancient civilizations. That's one of the main things I really focus on is ancient civilizations and trying to decipher the hieroglyphic messages and symbols that they have, because I feel they did it for a reason, you know what I mean? And my parents are from Mexico, and that's the main a civilization that I look into in Mesoamerica. But I tap into every work because you see a bunch of different similarities and comparisons between symbols, which is kind of one of first languages and art and visually being able to kind of see things. So I try to incorporate that in my work. And so going to the concrete sculptural work, this is one piece right here, which is this is a defect one, because I was experimenting with different types of concretes. There's some that are finer, there's some that has a lot more rocks in it, and that just depends on what type of structures you're building. But a lot of people like this distressed one, it gives it that more ancient look. But when I first was experimenting, I wanted it to be clean and pristine. But I feel it still does what's meant, or what I have envisioned for it, and so this is a silkscreen print version of it, and I consider that kind of the codex, or a blueprint for it to be able to decipher it. And there's actually messages within this work and the concrete ones that that are meant to be deciphered, and it's possible to be deciphered. But I don't give it to the viewer right off the bat, because I feel it kind of takes away from the message, and I kind of got to work for it a little bit, and but the messages usually revolve around a lot of positive affirmation, and just how to mentally and spiritually navigate our reality, living in a post-colonial times and shit. Well, my bad. But mentally, spiritually, you got to tap in to be able to get through life and stuff. And here's another print that I produced during my undergrad, getting my BFA at Cal State Long Beach, which I was super fortunate to even get into the program. And so many other dope artists from Cal State Long Beach coming from out there, so I really got a chance to really tap into like my practice and what I even felt like my work had like a purpose for when I was going to school out there. So, you know, and here's like another concrete sculptural piece, and yeah, so like and then here's like some other work where like I don't know if you're familiar with those like event signposters you see off the freeway for like concerts and stuff like that. So like for me, like, I originally was drawn to graphic design, typography, and you can see it for sure in some of my work, but I like those posters because they grab your attention and they're just so bold and vibrant, and you know, like they're just hard to miss. So like I like take them off and like cut them out and collage them into like watercolor paper, and I do like stippling and for this particular like body of work, and have like other ideas that I want to explore. But here's like another silk screen, and you kind of see like the event sign poster kind of like visual and within it in a way, you know. But yeah, so like here I have like roses on the corners, like that's like a symbol for me that like I associate with like people. 'Cause I feel like there's this really dope like pre-colonial story behind how like the rose got its thorns, and how like before it never had thorns and it was over consumed because it was such a beautiful flower. But then I believe it was like a crow deity where like took the seed to the sun, and like basically after that they like the last seed of like the rose basically gave birth to the rose that have thorns to protect itself, so it didn't get over consumed and basically eventually destroyed. So that's where like, you know, the message in this one was within that realm, and that's why I incorporated like the rose, and yep. And this is like a successful one in my opinion of like the concrete ones. And you know, like I feel, you know, I just like how like the light and the shadows like really, you know, amplify the shapes, and yeah, I don't know, and like kind of how Shane brought it up, you know, you just work in construction, so I was like, you know, utilize some of the knowledge I learned, and you know, not only, you know, be used for labor, you know. And then here's another one, like this one was like inspired by like doing like a trip out in Joshua Tree before I went to Cal State Long Beach to kind of like find like what I want to do, you know what I mean. And like when I was looking into the fire, like I saw, like I was like, tell me what I need to know, like on some, you might consider it weird, but you know, like the elements, they're alive, you know. And when I spoke to it, like it showed me like the seed of life, and that's where like I put like the pattern into like the eyes, you know. And that's why it's so trippy, because you know it was a sacred moment, but it's also like pretty far out, you know. And you know, with respectful boundaries for it, you know, because it's medicine, you know what I mean. And here's like another typographic encrypted message print. You know, like I still try to explore with like different fonts and stuff like that, but like one of the main fonts I really enjoy is like Cooper Black. I feel like it's like a interesting mix between serif and a sans serif, because like it has like round edges, but it still has like the serif, like I forgot what they call them, but like the bars, like basically what these are. I should know the terminology for it. But yeah, so yeah, here's another one. And you know, and like basically like the way to decipher them would be like putting them on like Photoshop and like Rubik's cubing it, like basically flipping and rotating it, and basically, but sometimes, you know, depending the layout, the design gives you kind of like some words that are easier to read, where there's some ones where it's like you don't even know what it even says. But yeah, and I just also really like experimenting with like different colorways, 'cause I feel that, you know, incorporates different ways how we consume it. But yeah, so thank you again for this opportunity, and I'm about to pass the torch.
We're not done. Go back. Go back.
Oh, yeah.
Go back. All right, I have one question for you, Eduardo, because I'm a big fan. All right, Eduardo, you've worked closely alongside some really significant artists in our region. He's assisted some like LACMA level artists. And I know you're really intentional about building your own voice independently from those relationships and just like going about your own, you know?
Yeah.
How do you navigate learning from like more advanced artists, but then without losing yourself in like their aesthetic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know. I feel like a part of it was like before even getting to that opportunity, I felt like I already had like kind of like a vision of where I seen myself and where I seen my work and what I want to represent. But I feel like one of the main things I take away being able to like be around artists and stuff like that is like kind of like their work ethic and like how they like even like approach trying to pursue like a career in the arts and stuff like that. And you know, but being able to work with artists, you know, I feel like the main thing that I get from is just like, you know, échale ganas, you know, and try to get past the obstacles that, you know, kind of like the system and like even like the art world puts in front of you to like kind of keep certain foods in like the circles that really pop in. But I feel regardless, art is always going to thrive and it's going to create its pockets wherever it needs to be. And yeah.
Thank you. All right. Next up, we have Jacqueline Valenzuela. Wait. I gotta do my intro. Hold on, guys. Alrighty. Next, we have Jacqueline Valenzuela. Am I saying it right? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Jacqueline grew up in East LA. She got her BFA from Cal State Long Beach and is currently finishing her MFA at UCLA. And for context, the percentage of Latino women who make it to that level is staggeringly small. You're a legend. Thank you, Jacqueline. She's already shown nationally, has worked in permanent museum collections, and has collaborated with brands like Meta and JCPenney. But at the heart of everything she does is community, specifically the lowrider world, a culture she grew up in that the fine art world has historically ignored. She's been changing that one painting and one workshop at a time. Jacqueline Valenzuela. My questions are on it.
Here's me being a goofy person during we had someone go in and take photos of us for open studios at UCLA, and she was like, do a goofy photo. Okay. But my name's Jacqueline. I went to Cal State Long Beach with some of these foos. I had very similar experiences there where like I think that was the first time that I felt like I was in an arts community, which was really nice. But after undergrad, I remember just thinking like, looking at statistics of how many people actually make it in the art world and that like scaring me. So all I thought was, okay, I need to try my hardest. I'm from an immigrant household. My parents both only have like elementary, like grade level education. I'm the only person in my family who's pursued higher education. So it feels like a big like thing for me. And I remember I thought to myself, I'm like, dude, my dad crossed the border for this. So I need to like, I'm like, you know, coming from an immigrant household, sometimes your parents are like, what are you going to do? And I remember I told them art and they're just like, what are you going to do with that? The first time I remember my dad was like super proud was because I had work in the Mexican consulate. So I think he like connected with that where he's like, okay, she's doing something like worthwhile. But because of that, I've like tried to drive my practice as much as I can. And right now I'm at UCLA for their MFA program. Here's some of the work that I've been working on while I'm there. I actually spent some time in the automotive industry after graduating from undergrad. My partner and I have an auto body shop in City of Industry, so not too far from here. He paints lowriders for a living. I painted lowriders with him for a while as well, but then I refocused on my own art practice. A lot of the work has to do with like it has automotive features involved in it. I'm also right now like really thinking about religion, time, like spirituality, but like brujeria, like everyone, like your grandma, she's like, she'll do your limpia with the egg. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm also thinking about space and like ideas of death. I think both of those have to do with like edges of comprehension. We don't really understand space completely. we don't really understand what happens after death. It's stuff that we tell ourselves so that we can feel comfortable. But I've started to do these weird space scenes. I usually paint very representational, and a lot of the work that's even here is a lot more like, let me just try something new. So these are a lot of experiments that I've been doing in grad school where I'm working with materials I wouldn't typically use. I'm using a lot more found objects, or like objects that I'm manipulating and then like putting into my process. Like this was a sticker that I got from a package that was sent to me. And I was like, I'm just gonna put this on this painting. Pennies too. Like I remember I had found out that they were discontinuing the penny. I was like, what if I put a penny in my painting? I'm like, I don't know, just trying new fun things. This is another painting that I had finished recently. I actually started it like more how I was taught traditionally and at Cal State Long Beach, where it was very just like work with straight lines, make a nice like underdrawing, and then paint from there. But I had the drawing like this for the longest time. And I remember I actually showed it to my professors, and I told them, I was like, I think it's just done. I was just gonna leave it as a line drawing. And they kept telling me, they're like, I think you're like jumping the gun too fast. And I sat with it for a while. My partner actually used cellophane in a lowrider like panel that he had painted. He had leftover materials. I saw it and I was like, I want to use that. So I just took it to the studio with me, and I ended up using it in this painting. I actually also put wax. I like melted a bunch of wax down and poured it all over the painting. It looks really cool, but it's like not archival at all, which is the main issue I'm running into right now, where I'm trying a lot of things that are fun and I actually feel like I'm learning or exploring, but then I'm like, how does this function outside of my studio space? This painting will still be at a show though. It's gonna be at the Ontario Museum. I believe the exhibition opens in April. Here's my studio at UCLA. It's a variety of work. That's like some of the installation type work that I'm working on right now. This thing right here is like an altar. It's gonna be in a gallery that opened up in Uptown Whittier. I'm really stoked about that because, so I grew up in East LA. I moved to Whittier, spent most of my like younger childhood, adolescence there, and all this stuff has to do with like growing up off of the boulevard and experiencing things like coming across roadside altars or like ideas of car culture and how that seeps in. There's some other, like, I've been doing a lot of paint or like smaller drawings because I don't do that a lot and my professors weren't loving that. So it's just meant for me to experiment and actually try new things. I have like a very rigid way of working, and that's what's most comfortable for me. But in grad school, they're like, try something new. So I'm trying every new thing that I could think of. This is actually in progress photo of the piece that's in here. It's called Prayer to Self, but I was just honestly like the candles have helped me a lot in my practice because, again, like since I worked so rigidly, it like forces me to let something happen organically, and I can't really predetermine what will happen with the materials, and I have to let it do what it's going to do, and then afterwards I go in and mess with it after the fact. So I don't know how many candles I melted on this, but a lot of melting, a lot of sequins. It's very tedious work. I feel like I left behind the tediousness of over-rendering figurative work. And now I'm like, okay, how can I use that same skill set but with materials, and how can I still get that same attention to detail? So with me, that's happening with like an excess of materials and using that on top of each other. This is a more recent photo of my studio space. I have a hard thing with letting go of stuff. These are some of the photos those are some of the flowers that are in one of the pieces that's in there. They've been in my studio forever. My professor goes into my studio and tells me to throw them out every time we have a visit. I still haven't thrown them out. That's on my to-do list for this week, so that she stops like having to tell me that every time she sees me. I'm also working a lot with like little Virgencita statues, finding them like at the Superior or Cardenas, or I'll go to like, I don't know, like one time me and my partner went to go pick something up from a friend, and we didn't know that he apparently has one of these piggy bank plugs. So this guy had a van full of these, and it like just we stumbled upon this scene, and we were leaving, and I was like, I wonder if he has the Virgen statues I haven't been able to find. So I asked him, and he did. And so we ended up buying some from him there on the spot. He also had like these really huge like pink panthers. We got one for free, which was nice. This is like more ideas of process. I'm just like burning candles in different ways and seeing how it's like functioning on the surface. This is a really large scale painting. I actually started it when I had first gotten into UCLA, and in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna paint this how I've painted every other like woman with a lowrider that I've painted. And my professors were just like, girl, that's what you've been doing though. And so they like kind of talked me out of it. I let it sit in my studio for a very long time. It actually just had a burnt umber underpainting for like months. It's been in there for like over a year. And then finally I started thinking of like women as machine and like lowrider, like women with lowrider patterns on them as like cyborgs. It's kind of like in the same frame of thought as Afrofuturism, but I'm thinking of like Chicano futurism, and what does it like realistically, Chicanos, Mexican Americans, Mexicans in general, like the Latino community has already experienced apocalypse. So we are already living in our future. We're already part of futurism. So this is like taking that one step further, where I'm like, okay, if these women are cyborgs and they're Latinas, why wouldn't they have lowrider patterns on their skin instead of tattoos? So their whole bodies are like embellished with lowrider patterns. It's actually moved a lot further, like since I took this photo, but that actually led me to doing all the outer space scenes, and I'm just trying to like world build and build their experience out. So I'm imagining that these women will be reoccurring characters in this new body of work. And this is something I'm working on like for thesis. I'm also planning on making a life-size mold of myself, and I'm going to make it out of fiberglass, and I'll be custom painting it with my partner, and that'll be for my thesis show. I think that would be like super sick, like to make one of these women an actual like 3D object. Still figuring out like poses and stuff. I laughed. My professor was like, what are you gonna do? And I'm like, I don't know. I'll figure it out over the summer. I still have one more year, which is nice. Yeah.
Thank you so much. All right, my question, because I'm a huge fan. Alrighty. In the past, you've mentioned the statistic about how few Latina women make it to the MFA level. What does it feel like to be that statistic and moving it in the right direction, moving it forward, increasing it? What responsibility does it carry, if there is any?
Honestly, it's a bit overwhelming. Undergrad has been like grad school, has been both a really great experience, but it's also been like a real downer, like if I'm being honest. But only because, again, like these are spaces, I try to remind myself, these are spaces that weren't exactly made for people from our community, like initially when like art schools were made, they weren't thinking, oh yeah, a girl like that's from East LA and has immigrant parents is going to go to UCLA. That's not how it was built. I even had like weird instances where I've worked with like Latino professors at UCLA, and they're so far removed from identity in their own bodies of work that it's a bit hard to like get feedback on my work from them. But I've also ran into some really great mentors there that were like unexpected. A lot of them are women, which like, if I'm just being real, which has been really nice. I also had a really great opportunity to TA under Victor Estrada. He's this older Chicano artist. He came up like when Asco and Los Four were like coming up in the Chicano like art world. Mentoring under him was really nice because he exposed me a lot to like conceptual frames of this type of work. That was something that I personally didn't get in Cal State Long Beach or even in grad school. So there's been like little nuggets of like nice things where I'm like, okay, this is important. I personally want to teach after I'm done like with grad school. I think it's important that people from our community have someone that they can like relate to. I don't know how much time I actually spent explaining what lowrider culture was to my professors instead of getting adequate feedback about whether the work looked good or not, or like what was working or not. So I think things like that where like people from our community can be in those spaces, can be teaching other students that are from the same community and what like can grow out of that. I think there's a lot that can be done in that way. Education's important to me, so.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Woo. That's so heavy. You killed it. Thank you. Alrighty. Next up, we have Jazmyne Campbell. Jazmyne is an artist based out of Rancho Cucamonga. She grew up surrounded by graffiti culture, and over the course of her artistic journey, she's gone from assisting some of the region's most talented artists to now showing her work with them. She never waited for a degree or a credential to say that she was ready. She just kept showing up until the rooms got bigger. She's currently recently re-enrolled in the LA Trade Tech sign painting program to further hone her craft. It was her heart and her eye that got several of us into this room at one of the largest art shows during Freeze last week, the 99-cent show. I present to you Jazmyne Campbell.
Thank you, Shane. Hello, everybody. This is my first time doing this, so, oh, wait. Do you have to push a button? No. Oh, okay. Okay, gotta ground myself. Thank you, Shane, for the opportunity to be here and be a part of the show and to be able to speak at Citrus College. I'm really excited. And yeah. Wow, what do I say now? Okay, so I like to paint this character. These characters, this cat and a star, shooting star. It's kind of just stuck with me over time after drawing it one day. I wanted to explore the, I guess, symbolism and repetition. So I've continued to do this same image over and over just because I really like it. It's, in essence, like, it's my cat, Booski, and yeah, I just feel like there's just this mysticism behind cats. I sense that's otherworldly. They feel like they're just, I don't know, they seem mysterious, and the shooting star really feels like it's basically my cat in another place out there. And I don't know, it's far more than I can explain, but yeah, I've continued to do this over and over, and basically it's turned out to be something that's created, I don't know, like this, a sense of belief in myself over time, like that I could draw something and continue to do it over and over and over and have it be like this thing that came from nothing, but yet it came from something somewhere in a sense. And I don't know, it gave me a sense of like belief in just, yeah, that whatever it is. I can't really say it, but yeah, there it is. And yeah, so I've collaborated with Ian Campbell, my husband, over the last 10 years. We've been showing in spaces together, just as like it's coming together. Our friendship and connection is through art. And we just, in a sense, we like to just mash up all kinds of things, anywhere from like ceramics that I've started doing like the last year. I started taking ceramics at Irvine Valley College. And I also work with like enamel paint that I learned to use in sign graphics at a LATTC. And so I took about a semester and a half of that, and it really helped me just learn how to be able to paint letters and use enamel paint, which we like to like incorporate into paintings, like found objects. I love to like upcycle things just because we have random things laying around, so we like to just make something new with them. Like that sign over there, that's a found sign. And anything from like spray painting to screen printing. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to, I like the texture, the layers. It's neat to explore. I feel like it's, in a sense, yeah, it's just always fun to like push and see what you can do with like different mediums and continue to create. So yeah, that's been a big thing for me ever since I met Ian. We've just continued to do things together, from like painting in tunnels or in the streets sometimes. I don't do it a lot, but it's fun when I do. I'm just like a big kid. I really like to just create, and for me, like, it's been just really life-changing to realize like I can do anything. Like if I just like believe in myself, I can just make stuff that like maybe makes someone else smile or feel good. A lot of the stuff I make really does bring joy to me. Like this bag, I love taxi bags. A friend of ours, Bailey Anders, makes taxi bags out of Oakland, and there's a lot of symbolism in this in general to me, because just the culture, like coming from the Bay Area, and taxi bags, like a lot of times graffiti writers fill those bags with like either spray paint or just like everyday like stuff, like whatever it is, like the artist bag. It's very specific, but I made this ceramic bag last semester in ceramics, and yeah, I just showed it at the 99-cent gallery that just was going on this last week. So I was really stoked to be able to share that and, you know, have that be seen, because it's pretty cool. But yeah, I really love this. This piece that Ian and I collaborated on. It's just, I remember the time when I found that cat at a thrift store. I literally saw this little toy, or like not toy, but ceramic statue, and I was like, dang, that thing would be sick if it was screen printed, or like just take a picture of it. And I didn't know how to screen print, but Ian did, and I was just like, all right, like I have this picture, and it got him excited. He made a screen out of it, and then we screen printed that on there. But like things like that, where it's like one person has one idea, and then it's like we join forces and like create this, like, I don't know, just stuff, you know, like we make art. And this is a ceramic sculpture that I made for Ian for Christmas. It's basically, I'm inspired by this woman, Gina Lawson. She's a ceramicist based out of Claremont. She makes amazing stuff. Like she'll just do all kinds of crazy, like she'll just do like all kinds of like faces to like anything. Like she'll just jump around and mix stuff on a surface. And this is basically a planter. This is me trying to like emulate something that I saw that she made. Like honestly, she's just a big inspiration to me. Like I just feel like she makes me want to like create a story out of my ceramic sculpture. Like this is me tapping into home and just basically saying like this is life. Like, you know, we have this sacred space that we share. Like we feed the hummingbirds, we have cactuses. Ian has, you know, changed my life. He's best partner ever. And like, yeah, it's just cool. Like if you click to the next, oh, I don't know, I thought I sent a different picture, but the other side has a cat head. It's our cat. And yeah, but anyways, yeah, I love ceramics. So these are other things that I've drawn and made. I also work with weavings, and I like making stuff out of the loom. Yeah, just me, just like trying to draw, flash. I wanted to be a tattooer once. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I would say I'm gonna be honest. I have been trying to like figure out like what my creative voice has been like this whole time, and it's pretty cool because at the point that I'm at now, I feel much more like I know who I am. It's taken a while, I would say, for sure, like, and now I understand that like you don't really have to try hard to like discover yourself as an artist, and that's been an interesting thing for me. Like now I'm like finally like in the flow of like just create. Like there's just so much, like if only we just continue to like be true to ourselves, if like that's what we want to do, we want to create, then that will just take you to places like you would never even imagine. Like it's like Cheyne was saying, like dreams really come true. Like I don't really know like what I'm doing, but I just follow my heart. And like this was actually in the Ampersand show, which was like went on, what was it? Known Gallery. Yeah, and it traveled around like I think different shows, different places. Yeah, this was me just like trying to make the ampersand out of like the shape of the star and the cat kind of hiding it in there. But yeah, I just like to play around with the shape and form and texture, just always exploring. But yeah, that's me. Oh yeah, that's the cat. Yeah, that's Booski. He's literally the other cat that's on the shooting star. He exists. But yeah, that's it.
Step. Jazmyne. Oh, no. We're not done with you. One more question. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Alrighty, my question, Jazmyne. Was there ever a moment when you stopped feeling like you were on the outside looking in and started feeling like you belonged in the art world?
Oh.
It's okay.
Wow. Damn, that's a really good question. Wow, that's heavy. Yes, I would say so. Yeah. I honestly feel like 100% that was all along. Like literally, like in my deepest self, I knew I was meant to be part of the art world, like making art. I don't know, it's crazy. It's like sometimes like you just know that what it is you're attracted to is part of you already. But like, yeah, I would say the whole entire time, like I already knew it, but it was also confusing because I wasn't there. I wasn't like, you know, I would say it was a little tough, you know, because I was like mentally maybe like not so sure, you know what I mean? I would kind of overthink it, and that's when I had to really just continue to trust in myself and, you know, like what it is that I did it for. Like, is it, for that, or is it for me out of like that love? Because just going back to the origin is most important to me, which is like for me very nurturing. Like making art really helps heal me. So at the end of the day, like it all connects. I feel like if we're just doing what like our heart is calling, like eventually that it all like leads you there anyways. Yeah. So yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
That was so good. Alrighty, we're on to our last speaker. Our last speaker is Ian Campbell. He goes by Catgods. Wrong side. All right, last but not least, Ian Campbell. He has been painting since 1993. I was 2 years old when he started painting, guys. Oh my goodness, he's a legend. He started as a bus hopper in San Diego, riding buses all day, riding on everything, grinding his streaks into the carpeted seats. That's where it started. From there, it snowballed into 3 decades of work spanning graffiti, photography, printmaking, sign painting, zine making, and even curating. He's been published in Juxtapose, Thrasher, Vice, High Fructose. He also has a BFA from Art Center and currently works as a lab tech at the Visual Arts Department of Irvine Valley College. Which means he's literally in a room like this one every day supporting students just like you guys. Ian is a graffiti godfather of this panel, and I'm honored to have him close this out. Thank you, Ian.
That's not me. That's why it's all blurred out like that. There's no proof that I can be prosecuted for that. So art, I never really planned on doing art. I came to art because honestly, I skateboarded, I listened to punk rock, junior high school. I fooled around, I messed around a lot. My mom and my dad divorced when I was like 7 years old. My mom, she's from Nicaragua. She was trying to figure out how to have a job. She left Nicaragua, Sandinista Revolution. Home alone a lot, go skateboard, hang out at skateboarding places, write my word on the ground with some wax or something like that, maybe smoke cigarettes and like write on stuff or something. And then how does that progress? Let's see, that progresses by taking pictures of skateboarding and taking pictures of my experience. Not really like trying to take pictures, but just like taking pictures because like mom's got a camera or somebody's got a camera. I'm like, I'll take some snapshots, take pictures of my friends or whatever. And then where does that go? I guess mom's like, oh, you can't live here if you don't have like either a job or like go to school. That's pretty inconvenient because, who wants to pay for stuff? So living at mom's house is pretty cool because it's free. So I'm like, okay, like job or school, let's go see what's up with Chaffey College. And it's like, ooh, okay, signed up, dropped out, go back to like hanging out, doing whatever. Oh, she's trying to kick me out again. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Chaffey College. I'm gonna do it this time. Didn't really work out. I think like maybe the third time was the charm. Like, who knows? I moved around a lot too, because like I started doing graffiti in San Diego. Like I was like, my dad got his stuff together. And I lived with him in San Diego for high school, started writing graffiti. And yeah, that went real bad. Had to leave San Diego at some point. Okay, we'll let the slides tell this story. So this is a thing that I painted in San Francisco with my friend Rick. His word is Atlas. He does the more forward-facing straight cats. I do these ones that kind of look like a tree or something. I don't know. I think we just spray painted the whole thing silver and just outlined things on it and went and did something else. Did that in probably like 45 minutes. It was cool. Somebody had a thing that we could paint. We painted it. And that's kind of like the story of my life. I eventually went to Chaffey College. I graduated from Chaffey College. Turned out financial aid is cool. Free money for college is cool. Spray painting under bridges with friends. I fill in a lot of stuff with house paint because it's cheap. I don't like to inhale a ton of spray paint fumes. You know, I've been spray painting on stuff since what, like I was like 14 or 15 years old. I'm like 46 now. How much of this stuff can I inhale? We're gonna find out. Yeah, this was a pizza place I worked at while I was going to Art Center. Me and a couple of my friends that I went to Art Center with all painted this place. We made it look like a big, cheesy, saucy mess. Behold my big, cheesy, saucy mess. Yeah, cats. Oh, there it is. Pulled the plug on me. Dun, dun, dun. There it is. There it is. That was my talk.
Thank you so much, Ian. I got one more question before we end.
Okay.
All right.
That was the electricity.
We just lost power,
I love it. That's perfect.
but I think we're on like emergency power now. Yeah.
I wish I would have gotten out once you actually finished and not like.
Oh, I don't need to finish. I'm still live. We're still going.
All right. We're gonna keep rolling.
Okay.
All right. So Ian, you went from hopping in writing on everything to a BFA from Art Center. Did formal training change how you see graffiti, or did graffiti change how you survived formal training?
Graffiti is how I survived formal training. F formal training. Like I had already built such like an aesthetic and like a whole thing. Like I went to Art Center and I was like, this is trash. I want my money back. But I was like so far into it and so far dedicated to it that it was like, I've got to like graduate. This is probably terrible telling like a room full of students this, you know, like go to Cal State or like a UC and like get as much scholarship and free money as possible. Private school, don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, that's my pitch.
I graduated debt free at Long Beach because of financial aid.
Hella debt. Yeah.
And that's our talk. All right. Thank you guys so much. Did you want to close it out? Okay. We're going to start a Q&A now. Hey, guys, do you guys all want to come up here?
Sure.
All right. And now, if you...
It's perfect for me.
All right. If you have any questions, just raise your hand, and we'll try to get as many questions in as possible. Come close.
I'm
get
sick.
group
You guys wanna be
photo.
close to me,
It's
fine.
okay.
Can you like each other?
Oh, we're married.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she doesn't want what I have. I got that 99-cent virus.
Alrighty. Questions? Concerns? Yeah.
It could be for anybody. I am a kind of art major. I'm currently doing theater arts. I kind of want to get more into like the regular, like traditional arts. Obviously, being someone who came back to college in her mid-30s, getting into my 40s, what would be your what's it called? Your
Suggestions?
suggestion
I-
in trying to get.
Should I field this
Yeah,
question?
Go for it.
I would say take as many classes as you possibly can. Figure out what you like. You know, you could take all the drawing classes, all the ceramics classes, take the photography classes, digital media arts classes. Take all the classes, build a portfolio, see what skills you're strong at, and have your instructors kind of navigate you. And don't let them tell you to go to private school.
Yeah.
I just said double major.
Oh, double major.
Double major.
Yeah, double major. That's not...
You want to add on?
Yeah, sure.
I kind of feel like if I did double major, since I'm almost 40, I feel like acting and like traditional art. I mean, traditional art is one thing, but I feel like getting into acting, especially at my age, I'm too old for it.
No, you're not.
I'm almost 40.
Okay.
I'm already a bad actor.
Jacqueline had a little something to add on.
If it makes you feel any better, women artists take longer to discover. Anyways, you have your whole lifetime.
Alrighty, next question.
I have a question. Can you guys talk a little bit to our students here who are maybe at the first or second class, how you decide to go from a community college to, let's say, get a BA or BFA, and why and how you decide to get an MFA or a master's? Sort of like the process, because I don't think most students understand
Yeah.
thoroughly.
Do you want me to kick it off?
I'll talk about the MFA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacqueline will anchor us up. Okay. So for Citrus specifically, because I navigated this system, I started out with the counselors because I was like, okay, I think I want to do art. So let's figure that out. How do we do that? And then you realize the art world is a whole thing of like, there's graphic design, there's painting, there's sculpture. And you kind of need to find what works for you. And once you realize that, oh, I think we're getting power back. Once you realize that, you need to start thinking, okay, where can I get the best bang for my buck? And that's why we went to Cal State Long Beach, and we got juicy rides there for the most part.
Juicy ride, I like that.
Juicy.
Money. And that whole process, there's a process. There's transfer degrees, which essentially guarantees you entry to the school, right? I think that's how that works. And it's really cool. Like, personally, my advice, yes, you can visit the counselors. Don't completely trust them. Even in my time here, I caught counselors trying to make me take classes I didn't need to take. So it really is on you, not just in school, in life, really. Do your homework. Knowledge is power. I've told you this, I think. Because if you hand over the power to someone else, they'll pull a fast one on you, waste your time, waste your money. And so in that sense, I was able to like chart a very intentional course, and I knocked out all my school. I had like these circumstances, so I was like, okay, we're gonna get this done. And then once you get transfer, that's a whole wormhole of its own, because transfer students, you're coming in to like a community that's kind of already built out for the most part. Like, you spend those first 2 years building your peers and stuff, but you kind of just power through and do your own thing, right? And then I'm curious about the grad school, because I didn't do grad school yet. Jacqueline.
I always wanted to do grad school, but I kept putting it off because like COVID happened, and I'm like, I'm not doing an art class virtually. That's insane. I had one friend that did their MFA during COVID, and I think they would like, for crits, they would just leave their studio open, and then people would like sign up like in 15-minute increments to go to their studio space and see the work. And then there's like just this whole big thing where I was like, that sounds unappealing. I actually worked a lot of part-times in after-school programs, and I just got tired like of doing that. And I told them, I'm going to go to Yale. And they were just like, I remember I quit my job, and my manager was like, this girl's crazy. But I had a very supportive partner. Like, I was able to paint cars with him. That helped a lot, like to have another income source. By the time that I was ready to like apply, I was also in a space where I was just like, I mean, I'm in my mid to late 20s. What do mid to late 20-year-olds do?
For sure.
I'm like, they maybe go to grad school. So I applied to grad school. I got into Yale, USC, UCLA. Didn't think I was going to get into any of those. Was very surprised. And honestly, it's been like weird there in itself, because I think every program sets you up for like different things. Cal State Long Beach did a really good job of like teaching us how to build skill sets, which I'm super like thankful for. I feel like I can make anything that I want to make, like just because of all the foundational stuff that was taught there. But the theory, the conceptual stuff, that wasn't even like on the chopping block at Cal State Long Beach. So I think for me, like going into like a research heavy program, that was the biggest like culture shock, because I'm in this program with people that only went to private schools, and all of their work was conceptual. They went to like RISD and Otis and Cal Arts, and they're telling me about their really great, like the experiences that they had and everything that they learned. Sometimes they'll say names and I'm just like, I don't know who you're talking about. I'm like, I could tell you about like a car painter or something. So there is like learning curves in that way, where if you're going like from an undergrad and then you take some time off, you pursue your MFA, be aware that the program that you're going into is like set up in a specific way. Like if you're going to a research program, it's only going to be research and conceptual stuff and theory based, which, yeah, like for me, it's been a learning curve. But I think having the strong foundational, like working practice anyways, has been super helpful. I have a friend that went to Yale and he's at school over there, and he said a lot of his classmates don't know how to make stuff with their hands. They have really great ideas, but they don't know how to make it. So if you can make stuff with your hands, I think you're already there.
Want to add anything? Good. How are you feeling about that, Hillman? Yeah. Yeah. Oh wait, one more thing.
My bad. Just in regards to like the MFA and BFA and all that stuff, a thing that really helped me when I was in community college, when I went to Chafee, was one of my professors told me to like go to sit in classes at like colleges that you might be interested in. Obviously, if you're in California, with whatever's within California, and that really helped me prepare to even go into like printmaking at Cal State Long Beach, because like I messaged like the head of the department, but hey, can I come in and check out what you guys got going on and stuff? And I feel that kind of gives you a scope of like, is this for me, or like what professors do, like how like they teach and stuff like that. And usually most professors are pretty open to people like coming in and sitting in and seeing how they run their show and stuff. So I feel that would be a good one.
Yeah, definitely.
I went to college late. I don't think I went to Art Center. I didn't transfer until I was like 28. So that was like, it was kind of funny because I worked at the dark room at Chafee College. Like I'd already gotten my AA, and I was just working there, and all my friends were transferring out. All my friends were younger, and they were all transferring out, and they were all going to get their bachelor's. And I was kind of like, dang, should I like go get my bachelor's? Is that like what I'm supposed to do now? Like I didn't really want to. I didn't want to spend money or do any of that. Like I was pretty happy just like making pictures and painting on things at night. That brought me joy. And then I was like, oh, well, you know, I've made a portfolio and I have a portfolio. Maybe I could like apply and like just see like if somebody will like give me scholarship money, you know? Is there scholarship money out there for this? Like for what I do, like will they give me money? Turns out that's bait, because they'll just give you money for anything at this time at Art Center. So don't fall for that. You want a lot of scholarship money, not just some scholarship money. You want a lot. And there's like outside scholarships. So look like Annenberg Foundation, look at other things. But yeah, so I applied at a bunch of schools, got into a bunch of schools, went to Art Center, should have gone to Cal Arts, would have been way cheaper. Probably would have had an MFA already. But yeah, that was my trajectory to some sort of bachelor's degree from community college. I enjoyed community college. I hung out at community college forever. I worked there. It's like I still work at a community college. It's like, I don't know, somehow I'm entrenched in community college, believe it or not. Gold teeth and tattoos.
Perfect. Thank you. Anything else? Want to keep going? We're good? All done? All right, we're wrapping it up, guys. Thank you guys so much for stopping by today. Have a great day.
Hey, can I get a picture of you guys
Yeah.
together with Diane?
Can you take
That was
one?
fantastic.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
I went to Cal State Long Beach too.
Oh, what? Thank you so much. Go Beach. The ceramics program's insane.
Yeah, I was there with Tony Marsh and all those
Yep.
people.
All right, we need a chance. Add me.
Really? You want me to take
Can you add me to the
camera?
file?
I asked you-
Oh, okay. Just send it to send me stuff. No, everyone come close.
1, 2, 3. Diane, you're the one we're not hugging.
Okay, he's the sick one.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
A vertical one too. A vertical one. We gotta do it for the story.
For the story.
Just double click the power button.
The story.
I think you got it. No, he got it.
Okay.
He'll text it to me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you guys.
So much. You guys are awesome.
We killed it. We killed it. That was my money. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much.
And let me send you guys
Yeah, no worries.
parking.
Oh,
I
yeah,
parking already.
She gotta get you guys' info for parking.
One more thing, if you want to see his art on
Oh, yeah.
Glendora Avenue.
Oh, yeah, he did the station.
Yes, it's beautiful.